a car immediately, of course. Yeah, obviously. Okay. Well met, lords and ladies. Jacob Butter speaking in a warm well. Are you serious? Okay, I'm going the other way. No, it's going down that other way. Great. Okay. Alright. Sorry if I'm a little bit on edge. If you can tell, this is significantly later in the day that I normally record these. Even when I do them late. Yeah. Thing is, I forgot to charge my phone. Simple as. Been in rehearsal today. I was going to charge it while I was there. Didn't realise, oh yeah! I actually need to bring the actual plug with me, not just the cable charger. So, yeah, I've been waiting for it to go down from basically zero. Because the thing is that Walking Wednesday takes up most of my phone battery each time I do one of these videos. So, it's very much a requirement to have, you know, at least 60%. I'm at like 77 or something, or at least I was again before I started. Sorry, I'm more tired than I normally am. You can probably imagine why. I was up most of last night, finally finishing the filming for one of the last scenes of the Mutant Girl anniversary remake. Oh, it's this road. I was gonna say I picked a different path than I normally take. Just end up in a place that I was familiar with. Kind of similar to how I do how the production went of that. Because I recently changed my method of filming gacha, which I think has benefited significantly. Well, better process significantly at least. Again, I was supposed to test that with Alpha Witch Academy, but obviously needs must in this instance. You can never tell which light's going to go red before which. Who knows? Oh well. Yeah, so, yeah, point is, it was fine. It was a fine filming process, which is very tedious, and I guess I've now realized there's one drawback to the method I'm using now, which is to chroma key each individual character in their different poses versus actually just versus like having them in Gacha Club itself. I've noticed that the issue that I have, which I thought they fixed in a new update, is that Vegas Pro 19 is still very uncomfortable with a massive amount of layers. And there's the issue. Honestly, in a less time-pressed situation, you know, in those times when I can just be like, oh yeah, you know, I'll crack on the TV and I'll edit while I watch something like that. No, this is not one of those situations because, well, of course, it's due tomorrow. So yeah, no matter what, everyone, the anniversary episode will come out tomorrow. My intention right now is for it to be out at basically 9:15 British time, or I can't remember if we've gone back to. I don't think we've gone back to GMT versus BST yet. I'm not really sure. Either way, about 4:15 basically for the lords and ladies on the East Coast of the US, of course, because there are East Coasts everywhere that there is an East for, which is again everywhere. Anyway, point is, it's the time that I used to stream at, because I want to make sure that anyone who has to go to bed late, something that's got a school night, doesn't have to stay up super late. Particularly Emily, if I'm mostly honest. Because again, I can't miss the 3rd anniversary of her favourite show. If it's still her favourite show, I'm not really sure actually. She hasn't really told me it is or isn't. Yeah. Either way, yeah. The fact it's anyone's favourite show is enough of a praise for me. Favourite gacha show, that is. Sorry, I should specify. People will think I'm getting an ego. That's the thing, I need to boost my own ego sometimes with this project, specifically because it's taking so long. And again, it's had its ups and downs as far as production wise, you know, as far as how far it's gotten in terms of an audience and everything. I've now had a chance to finally follow Josh's advice, actually, and put it into 2 separate seasonal playlists. So those are now on display at the top of my channel. Actually, now that I see that, yeah, there's like a very slight, you know, not very slight increase, like a 1.5 times increase sometimes in a lot of the videos in the like I see the first parts of each season, with the exception of episode 5, which got promoted on its Mimi-chan's community tab. So you can imagine how that went down. But yeah, with few exceptions, yeah, it kind of basically looks quite similar. Even the remake from last year, which is now on there listed. I don't know. I've been thinking about other avenues as far as marketing goes anyway, so I'm not too concerned about that. The point is, it's been up and down, and that's partly what I wanted to address in that other video. I wasn't expecting the amazing comments from Prism of Voices and, once again, Josh, as far as singing the actual praise of the show, but again, definitely helps things. Yeah, I'm just wondering, because again, the Mutant Girl is one of the things I have to justify to myself as to why I carry on occasionally. Not on the level of, oh yeah, you know, it's not going anywhere, but just because it takes an effect on me sometimes. And last night kind of reminded me of that, because I've had no time almost to really either just, you know, relax, you know, hang out with friends, hang out with my girlfriend, you know, have a life, and do uni, and also work on the Mutant Girl. So so that's why I just said, you know what, I'm going to stay up as long as it takes right now, and I'm going to finish filming. That's it. Which, once again, I did do that. That is what happened. That was the thing. So now it's all mostly just on angles, except for the fact that I do have some elements of, sorry, it's a green light right now, I don't want to waste it. I do have some elements of mild panic as far as like the one of the other scenes, like one other scene I realized was missing. It's like, who'd I give that to? Okay, gave it to this editor. They said they were almost done, and then turns out they were barely even started, it seems. And then suddenly Aiden got involved in the process, because Aiden is very quick and very efficient. Sometimes to a fault. I will say there's one part in that, in what he just sent me now, where he did like the bulk of it basically. There's one part where he just, where I don't think he quite thought through how exactly that was supposed to come across. Which is like, oh yeah, you know, character moves across the screen. That's it. I'm still working on addressing his thing about, you know, reactions versus just dialogue. But honestly, again, he seems to have he's still progressed significantly from the Days of Fallen Angels. That's nothing I want to do. I want to get back to reviews of stuff. Because Fallen Angels in particular is something that I promised I was going to release reviews of individually. Not only that, but also the CinemaSins parody. Well, I mean, obviously he also wanted me to, I don't know, to work on some remakes for him, which I have been doing as well. Once again, interfering with time. Yeah, who knows. In between stream and helping Monet with test papers and stuff, probably won't get to it today, quite honestly. But yeah, I don't know. That one's done with no angles, and I do angles. If anyone doesn't know, that's one of the things I started doing as of last year. That was that I started rendering everything with no camera angles at the highest quality I possibly can, and then zooming in, and then get the camera angles that way. That's for the sole purpose of like avoiding too much pixelation, and also forgot what I was going to say. And also, I got distracted by the cars again. Anyway, but yeah, and also giving me a solid place to come back and not just like, oh yeah, I have to render this particular part just so I can zoom in here, etc. That's one thing that has changed quite a lot, despite the fact that there's like multiple layers and stuff I was talking about before. My editing process for the Mutant Girl has become way more efficient over time. It's only because I've had no time that it doesn't really correspond, or doesn't seem to correlate at all. So yeah, that's really it. But yeah, honestly, I think this is the most practical method I can possibly use. I might play havoc with Average Academy to an extent because of if I start using like actual just regular screenshots versus chroma key, so I don't try that this time. That's one of the issues I found in episode 3. But yeah, again, who knows? Actually, no, wait, well, we even found that long time ago. Yeah, I know. But yeah, point is that will be out tomorrow, and I'll get to actually finally take another break, I think, from the musical. Because I mean, on one hand, I said, season 2 was the break for me for like a month, and then I started working on the remake. But honestly, I probably need another one just because of everything that's been going on, and how like the entirety of like the end of the uni course is like accumulating for me. That's really it. And also because the next project that we've got to do is a movie. Yes, the next thing that's going to come out in the Mutant Girl is the Mutant Girl movie. The Mutant Girl goes to high school. So yeah, that's going to happen. So you can imagine, I've made a bunch of gotcha mini movie scripts, whatever you want to call them, whatever time denomination you might personally establish, because everyone has their different ones. But yeah, most of the time, because ironically of the Mutant Girl show, and of having no time to dedicate to it, I basically have nothing that's I basically had no time again to barely even do other shows. It's another thing. I want to work on other shows. I want to get back to Puppy Love. Maybe I want to do like Siren Story the Gacha show now that I've got a lot of the songs for it. I have more of an idea about those. That would be great to do. Get back to those roots, because I miss working on that series too, because there was so much hype around it. Well, at least behind the scenes anyway. It's yeah. Don't know what that was. My lips stuck together. See, I know. Who knows? But yeah, the Mutant Girl movie. I guess I'll probably just collect lines for it, honestly, at different intervals. Because that's one thing I should mention. You probably are wondering, oh yeah, we're going into year 3 now. The show is not over. Not by a long shot. What are we doing now? Well, actually, we've gone through some of the stuff that we did far in advance, because it honestly recently came to my attention that we're going way too far ahead of things. And we don't have enough time to respond to the audience to see what they actually latch onto versus I know. Versus what we present to them. So yeah. So what we're doing now is just having Mona go through the scripts that she's going to quickly forget about. As she's assured me, so you won't be too worried about spoilers. But yeah, that's been happening. Not too many changes actually, so I think we're actually better off than I thought we were. But who knows? Then again, I also found that I was a bit apprehensive about the movie, honestly. I didn't want to do a Mutant Girl movie. I'll be perfectly clear about that. I wanted to just start season 3 and get that going because I didn't do an in-season movie before and I didn't have any intention this time. However, that obviously ended up not being the case. Obviously. So, question of course would be, what happened? Well, obviously, Aiden happened. He convinced me that was something that we could do. And yeah, honestly, there was something to do with that. I mean, in the past, people have mentioned how mini movies are actually a good way forward as far as marketing a gacha channel goes. And Monet has now mentioned that gacha long-form content is actually on the rise. So it worked. It made sense in the past and it makes sense in the present. This is on a marketing level. On a story level, it's hit or miss. Because on one hand, yes, it sets up everything and you do have to actually watch that in order to get, well, not only to get season 3, but get where it's their starting point of season 3. Because unlike other things where like the movies themselves don't really affect the canon too much, or they just, have the same thing. Because of butter logic and, the airtight continuity of the series, I can't really do something that's like, oh yeah, super inconsequential. So no anime movie logic, basically. But yeah. So it needed to actually match. But yeah, on the other hand, it does seem like, oh yeah, if people don't know about that, and now because I'm going to have separate season scripts, thanks to Josh's idea, I wonder if that's actually, a good decision to have, a movie just in between those, and not really tie the pieces together. Well, I mean, not really, it does tie itself together, but not, anyway. So I don't know. That was my apprehension. But actually going through the script, at least the movie itself is a solid enough project. I didn't quite remember that I actually tied it up in a satisfactory way for myself. And it seems that going through it again, well, Monet was pleased, that's the thing. Fresh eyes and everything. But also I was pleased with it. I like the direction it went towards the end, where it sort of resolved itself, even though it was basically just a massive excuse for setup. I won't give that away, obviously, but that's something to expect. But really, what does year 3 entail for the Mutant Girl besides the movie? Well, I'm going to be collecting more lines further in advance, regardless of if I'm editing things or not. Nova apparently is on a monthly schedule, so maybe I'll do things like that and just send out clumps to do in certain weeks. And then obviously have the backups step in if it is required, which at this point seems very likely. And then in the meantime, I will have the editors working on something where there's not a self-imposed deadline or arbitrary pressure. And who knows, maybe then I'll be able to focus on other stuff, like Puppy Love, Siren Story, the series. Once Siren Story the musical is done, obviously. Because really that's the first thing I'm going to do is take a step back, not do anything too ambitious for gacha, and just focus on uni stuff, maybe the odd review here or there. And obviously Walking Wednesday and 5 years later, that goes without saying. But otherwise, yeah, that's all. That's the plan. But But yeah, after that, who knows? Because again, I want to do some other stuff. I had a very good movie script idea that Ed and I really want to put forward. Nothing to do with any other series. No series tie-in. Just a movie. You know. So who knows? Maybe I hope this will be a bit more efficient. I could take a leaf out of Aiden's book and obviously in future limit the casting of characters rather than just like rely on people trying to go for multi-roles and stuff, because not everyone does. Amusingly, Moni actually commented that she was going to audition for Pop. At one point decided against it and went for Empress, to which I would have said the original voice actress of Pop and Empress was the one for both of them. So why not just audition for both of them? But then she said, oh, it felt selfish. But here's the thing for people, if you're auditioning for characters, go for as many as you can, or as many as you think you suit. Because then the director gets to choose which one they think you're best for as well. Obviously I had one option there, but then again, it was a pretty good option. But yeah, who knows? Maybe it could have gone for both. Maybe she would have been the replacement of Steve in that regard too. I don't really know. Anyway, I'm going to get back to her because she's got grades to do and I need to finish up. So please like, don't think your opinion matters. I'm running out of time here. Tried to do this already, and on that note, until next time, farewell. Happy 3rd anniversary to everyone.